is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening. It's Friday night. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Good evening, everybody. If you're watching us in the Pacific or this part of the country in California, where I'm based, good evening to everybody. It's beautiful Friday night. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat. I hope you're having a wonderful lunch with your friends, family, loved ones, significant others. And if you're watching us in different parts of the world, good morning, good after, good evening. And it's true, I'm really, really back. I know a lot of you were concerned, and maraming salamat. I am so overwhelmed with your concern and your texts and your private messages, and you were wondering if Kuya Josh or Jush Andowitt is sick because I've been doing replay. No, hindi po. I was just traveling, and of course, there's some things that I need to accomplish personally. But you'll learn more about it once everything is settled. But now I'm live. This is really me. This is really my home base. And where I am at right now is my office in my home in LA. So magandang hapon, tanghali, umaga, whatever. But definitely we are live. So maraming salamat po for tuning in as always. And before anything else, we're live on PHLB Radio Facebook page, as well as live on PHLB YouTube channel, PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you are not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we're on or any of the shows of PHLB Radio is on, just click on that notification bell so you'll be notified every time. Also, we are live on different podcasts, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And if you have questions on any shows or the station itself, you could always log into our website, which is www.phlbradio.com. And if you're using Amazon Fire TV, it's really easy. Just look for PHLB Radio channel. And if you're using Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. Yan, before anything else. Again, magandang gabi, hapon, tanghali, at umaga sa inyong lahat. Ito po yung show. This show was the show that was supposed to be airing like 3 weeks ago, but everything was ready. However, of course, there's some things that we cannot avoid, especially on live shows. So at the end of the day, we will be showing you, as most of you would know, I was in Manila, I was in the Philippines for a while taking care of some legalities for my mom's property. So I was there, and of course, part of that, tuloy-tuloy po rin po ang show natin. And I was blessed to be able to do a quick visit to Baguio, which is this Philippine summer capital. And if most of us, if you visited Philippines or you grew up in the Philippines, you know po na Baguio is always the place to be. And it's so interesting to know that some of the migrants that I talked to recently, they have not been to Baguio at all. They have no idea what Baguio looks like or Baguio is about. So that is very interesting for me because Baguio talaga is yun ang kanilang getaway or go-to place whenever summer is in the Philippines, because everything is very warm and hot in the metropolis or in the city. So they would always drive, or in the past they could even fly in. Now you could still fly into Baguio, but not Baguio per se. You could go to fly in Philippine Airlines to Lawag, and then from Lawag you could just drive all the way to Baguio. But this is what I would tell you. Going to Baguio now is not difficult. Again, it is not difficult at all. It takes between, I would say, 3.5 to 4 hours drive, because now there's two ways of going there, either through Quirino Highway or the Marcos Highway, or the zigzag way. The zigzag way, I didn't do that, and you'll see that in the video because I'm too scared, because as you know, there's bangil. And of course, We travel in the evening, so we rather go the other route, which is kind of the normal route. It's a little longer compared to the Canyon Road, but it gets you there anyways. And if you are traveling in the evening, I think I suggest do the Quirino Highway, which is easier for everybody. So what are the things I could tell you? Well, we traveled during the wee hours of the morning, and we'll show you that video in a minute. So at least, and I'll do a voiceover in that. And I would gladly tell you, oh, before anything else, oh, wow, Rosana Milar Barrera, hindi na siya team replay today at hindi siya team late. Hi, Rosana. Rosana is our dentist instructor, and she is a singer as well. She's a dentist by profession, but now she is based in Doha, Qatar. Happy viewing to you, Team Doha, Qatar. Yan. And Katrina Poblete Salom as well, the mother of Ayana Poblete, who's doing wonderfully sa kanyang field sa theater arts in UK. And of course, there's the all our groups na talagang naging friends na natin because of our shows. Sila Katrina, si Openg, si Medi, of course their kids, si Denise, si Angela, and of course si Kiel, who's doing so much pride, bringing so much pride for the Philippines, being in that law school in Oxford. Oh, Maribel Diaz, of course, says happy viewing to you. Is Doctora Maribel Diaz, and she is not only she is a physician, she is also a alumni of a well awarded alumni of UST High School, UST University of Santo Tomas School of Medicine, as well as she owns the Dagupan Bangus, which is so good. And I know people who are migrants in the States, you would have tasted her bangus. She is the owner of this beautiful bangus farm, and I've been there, and we did a show about that. And so happy viewing to you. Katrina, si Catherine Cruz is the wife. Okay, ito na. Hindi former, wife of the current LA Consul General, si Adelio Cruz, at ang magbabalik, who is already the appointed, and of course now well-loved, and so much excitement on his return. And Catherine Cruz is the wife, the loving wife. Oh, Medi Mendoza, I just talking about you, the Ocfemia family. And Medi, I think you are in Manila. I was told by Openg or by Romeo that you are in Manila. Enjoy and stay hydrated to everybody who is in Manila. Sabi niyo, wow, my gosh, oh my God. Okay. Okay. I'll deal with that later. Mariver, that caught me off guard because the LTO chief, I was just told that a sad and a bad news. So I will definitely talk to you, Maribel, when we get there. So anyways, so I went to Baguio, right? Because I was almost 1.5 months in the Philippines and have not been anywhere other than Tagaytay, which I will have a show on that as well. And of course, Baguio. So Baguio, like what I said earlier, is the summer capital of the Philippines. Why it's summer capital? Because during summer, people would go up to Baguio because of its cool weather and its breezy weather. And that was then. My experience this time, it's contrary to the cool and cold weather. It wasn't like that. It was kind of humid. It's so funny because I was ready. I have my scarf and all that, but I was not able to use any of it. I was just wearing t-shirt the whole time, and I was perspiring. Maybe this is an effect of the climate change. I don't know, but it was not really the Baguio that I am so used to. Baguio before, I went there in April, so Baguio before in my mind. In my recollection, it used to be very cold, and it's really this is like you are like walking like in an air-conditioned room, but it did not happen this time. So it was really humid, it was hot, It's not as hot compared to the metropolis or to Metro Manila, but compared to what I imagine or most of us had experienced when you went to Baguio, it wasn't like that. It is there's traffic, but the traffic as well as it's kind of congested now, maybe because of the development and the progress that's happening in the city of Baguio. However, one thing I could tell you that has not changed is the hospitality and the people. They are really nice. They're very helpful. It's the Baguio that I remember, the Baguio that I grew up, that I remember growing up, and it's really the people really made the difference. So it could be warm, it could be congested, it could be traffic, but the warmth of the residents of Baguio made the difference. So what are you gonna see in this show? Where we're gonna see how we got there. We're gonna do the ruins cafe, ruins cafe, or it's a restaurant that would tell you Cafe by the Ruins it's the name. And then I would show you the Botanical Garden and the Burham Park, the Mines View Park, and then of course the Pink Sisters. For the Catholics and the Christian, it's a must that you go up there and visit, and you do your devotion. And from there we went also to the Lourdes Grotto and to the Baguio Cathedral. Those are the main spot. One of the highlight of my trip, and I really made it sure that I do it this time, is to visit the Ben Cab Museum. See, he is the national artist for painting as well as sculpture, and we will show you the things that you could see. And I highly recommend, if you have a chance to go up to Baguio, you kind of do a detour to Benguet to go to Ben Cab. Ben Cab, of course, is the national artist, as I've said earlier, and you would see some of the arts. That will be our end credit later, but it is a place not to miss. Okay, so again, if you have a chance, whether you are into arts, but this is Philippine pride, because we have an artist, by a national artist, Ben Cab, who really, you will be so at awe with the things that he has done, he has produced, and you could be amazed, and your Josh, your mouth will be wide open in excitement and awe, because he is really, I would say, one I would consider a genius when it comes to arts. And with that said, so teka, bigla meron pa. Yes, sabi ni Medi Mendoza Ophelia, sabi niya, "Hi Kuya Josh, watching from Pampanga now." Nako, Medi, we miss each other. I was in Pampanga too. I was there. Si Rian Antikin, good afternoon po. Rian is my beautiful inaanak, and congratulations, she has just won, I think, Queen of the Night, or the junior senior prom in her high school, and she was the best dressed, and she was the queen for that night. That being said, welcome again. This show will be a travel log regarding my trip to Philippine summer capital, which is Baguio. And here we go with and I'll do the voiceover. And we had a stopover. Now you're seeing the stopover because we started really late in the evening, and then of course we kind of refuel, and then of course we stop at the gas station. And this gas station, just like here, there's a lot of things going on now. It's not your typical you fill up your gas and then you go. This time it's more like there's pasalubong, or where you could buy all your wares, and you could buy water and gifts. If you're on your way back to Manila, this is where you normally would stop over. And this is already part of Pampanga, where Medi is right now. So and this is what you need to see. So if you travel by night, which I will not recommend in the future, it is so scary. It's too dark. And of course, because of the trucks that you would be traveling with you, made you matraffic na, because of course these trucks are the one bringing all the goods to Baguio, they have all the other things that's needed for the city, and it's coming from Manila or other places. So it's really really dark and it's not well lit. So if you do not drive well, if you don't have a driver that really knows the location and how to do it, I would suggest not to. And what you're seeing right now is the city of Baguio itself. This is the morning of that we arrived, and we are on our way to Cafe by the Ruins. And this is, you see, like I told you, that it's really kind of crowded now. That's how it looks. So it's like being in Metro Manila, or in suburbs of Metro Manila. So there's a lot of people walking, and of course there's a lot of traffic as well. And parking is really a challenge. So that's the road on the way to Cafe by the Ruins. Okay, and hopefully you see that. So you need to be patient when you go there. But the good thing is, people follow rules, which is so interesting. They don't swerve from left to right. And of course, the motorcycle is not as many compared if you are in Manila. Si Ferdinand Jacinto, sabi na, shout out Sir Josh from Houston, Texas. Si Ferdy Jacinto. Hi Ferdy. Okay. Sabi ni Catherine Poblete, magandang umaga po. Ako, magandang umaga sa iyo rin, of course. Ayan, you're seeing more roads. I want to see, I want to show you guys how the roads look like. It's paved and it's well maintained, which is really, really nice. Not a lot of potholes. Actually, it's really very commendable for the Department of Public Works and Highway, and they did a good job. And see, people were following rules, and of course they have designated parking spaces. And what you're seeing right now is the teacher's camp on the right hand side, and then people doing the bicycle or the cyclists, they are on the right side of the road, unlike in some places, especially in Metro Manila, which they could be everywhere, and it's kind of scary. Si Romeo Jr. Ocfimia, sabi niya, hi Kuya Josh, watching from Qatar. Yes, I said hello to you guys, to your family, to Kiel, Angela, and Denise. And definitely you guys would be guesting soon, because we need to inspire and motivate people on how you guys raise these beautiful kids of yours, and very such an achievers. Okay, and here you go. We're getting close now to Cafe by the Ruins. And this is very famous. And if you're going to be in Baguio, I suggest that you stop by at Cafe the Ruins. This is not a paid sponsorship, but it's really, really a sight to see. And it's really quite an experience. If you ask me, is it expensive? For the food, no, it is very reasonable. Normally it's like $5 to $12, so it's very reasonable, and it's really really very tasty. So here's more roads. Bakit daming roads yata na film namin. So here we go. Okay, parking here at the Cafe by the Ruins is really a challenge. There's this guy who would put it together, but it's one on top of the other, so it's really 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 very challenging. So you really have to either take a Uber, Uber or Grab in the Philippines, to be able to get there if you're not a very good driver. So let's show Cafe by the Ruins, and I'll show you and just to let you know some background on Cafe by the Ruins. Here you go. That's the entrance of Cafe by the Ruins. Cafe by the Ruins was started 30 years ago by a bunch of friends. Among them, a painter, a sculptor, a journalist, a dog lover, an art anthropologist, a musician, and a cook. Okay, they all laugh a lot and love to eat. Yun ang kanila, no. The ruins were the remains of the house of Phelps Whitmarsh, who was once the governor when the Americans were beginning to develop Baguio as their hill station. In an earlier incarnation, the ruins has been a garden theater, but when the venture failed, Whitman turned it into a residence. The bomb The bombs or World War II destroyed much of the house, leaving only four arches. Okay, of course, the friends who took over the ruins and set up a place to hang out and meet in, sorry. And then, of course, today, Cafe by the Ruins welcome friendship and guests in a new structure, but the ruins continue to witness all comings and goings. And that's the entrance going to the ruins. It's so really beautiful. It's really one of those kind of art decor. And of course, that's the original ruins, the arc and all that. So whatever is survived. And then, of course, you could have your lunch or dinner or breakfast there if you want. And then, of course, it's so beautiful. Really, it's Instagrammable, as Filipino would say. Talagang it's worth the trip. And of course, they say, welcome to Cafe by the Ruins, a place for fresh food and friendship. Yan. So yan, very Instagrammable talaga siya. There you go. And of course, you will be welcome by the one of the and of course I was trying on my own to do the video because I don't have my assistant with me at the time. Yeah, so it's really the structure itself. It's a sight to see. You don't see structure like that anymore because it was well preserved, and the way they did a fantastic job. So kudos to the owners of Cafe by the Ruins, because the interior was amazing. I have no bad things to say or no criticism to say about the place. It's well kept. It's clean. The food is fantastic. The service is up, 2 thumbs up, and the plants, the greens are really exciting. And of course, if you are plantitos or plantitas, this is a spot you have to see. And then it's well placed, and like what I said, it's very clean, very tidy, and the bread are baked fresh. So there you go. And of course, they're selling all their other sauces and some coffees and some of those things that you would like to take home as pasalubong. They also, I think I would show you. They also sell shirts. Like I survived Cafe by the Ruins, and of course there's a lot. Look that we are there so early in the morning. So you would see there's Ayana Beatriz Poblete is watching. Hi Ayana, I know you are in Doha visiting mom and dad, and good for you, and enjoy the company of your parents. And this is the second floor. We stayed at the first floor of the restaurant, and then I wanted for you guys to see that you don't have to be at the first floor. You could always go to the second floor, which is, in my opinion, it's a lot better view-wise, because for the older folks, I think it will be a challenge because they don't have any elevator. There are stairs. But if you are adventurous enough and you are able to climb into second floor, a second floor would be, I would recommend that to have your lunch or your get together on the second floor, because you have several art pieces there displayed, and of course it's open air, so that might be some challenge, especially for the Filipinos abroad visiting. But the greens and the trees that surrounds it made it really a sight to see. So by the time I am filming this, it was kind of like it's getting crowded, and it's really we went there and we were just walked in, because like what I said, we were there so early in the morning. So but I highly recommend 2 thumbs up for Cafe by the Ruins. And my idea, when they say by the ruins, it will be rustic, it would be all stones, all rocks, because ruins. But to my surprise, it's not, because they have done really a fantastic job for the upkeep. And then of course the service crew are just phenomenally wonderful. So again, it is worth the trip. If you ever in Baguio, I highly recommend Cafe by the Ruins. Like what I said also, This is not a paid sponsorship, but you saw all the art pieces there. Some of them are for sale, so if you would be, and then now I showed you. I was looking at the veranda. You see the traffic now. Isn't it like it's a reminder or a reminiscence of the traffic in Metro Manila? Or if you are in Los Angeles, like where I'm at, that's basically an LA traffic right there. So they still also, I would say, they also have traffic po sa Baguio. Yan, so yan. So there you go. And of course, the service crew, they're nice people. They're like laughing and giving me smiles because we're doing. And then of course, when you do what I did, make sure you don't fall. You hold onto the rail to make sure that when you do film, that you don't get in trouble. Si Sophie Sanchez Teves, watching from Carson, California. How are you, Sophie? Sophie is one of the beautiful member of the Bible group that I joined in Carson, and of course in the beautiful home of Evelyn Aguinaldo. Sophie with of course the husband Carlos, or we call him June. Now from Cafe de Ruins, we decided, okay, I said I want to go see places because I need to have it for as content for the audience of my show, to have, for them to have an idea of the new Baguio, or where, especially if you've been in America or in different parts of the world for a long time and you have not really been to Baguio for quite some time. Again, going to Baguio now, it's not as difficult. It's 4 hours because they have now Tiplex, they have NCLEX. So with all this development, highway-wise, it is really not a challenge anymore to go to Baguio. Now, of course, as Christian and as Catholic or as believers, the first stop always is the Pink Sisters. Okay, Pink Sisters, definitely it's a must stop. And of course, this is, it's a convent and a church at the same time. And these sisters, they pray 24/7, 365 days. And there you go, and we're showing you it's beautiful as well, and it's that's the structure, and you'll saw the inside of it. I asked permission to do my filming inside, and the people are really nice, and that's the structure outside. And I'll tell you what some information about the Pink Sisters in a while, and there you go, and then. And prior to this location, the Pink Sisters established a chapel and a convent on another site in 1931. Doubtless, drawn by the city's invigorating climate, the convent served as the vacation home for the nuns. This original convent and chapel were destroyed in the bombings at the close of the Second World War. At the end of the conflict, the Pink Sisters moved to its present location, like that is location, and there they built the chapel and a convent that we know today. Yan. So there you go. This one, you really have to be very, very careful because they don't allow shorts, they don't allow sleeveless, they don't allow anything that with not really in well, basically you need to be dressed properly, like the ladies should be wearing either pants or wearing skirt, no shorts and no flip-flops. And of course the guys, you cannot go with your tank tops or with your sandals or with shorts. You have to be at least properly dressed. If not, they would provide you like a, not a sarong, but it's like you put it to cover your legs, or to like a shawl for the ladies to kind of cover their upper portion, the torso, to make sure that nothing is exposed. And there you go. You're seeing much of the outside or the facade of the building, and I'll show you that we're going in. As you're seeing there, yeah. So I have to ask permission because I don't know if they will allow us to film inside, but they did. Okay, so we go. Here you go. And there you go. These are the rules. If you want to go inside the chapel, the proper attire inside the church, like what I said. No shorts, no swimsuit, no sandals or undershirts. You need to be dressed properly, like you're going to church, because that is the way you show your respect. And of course, you don't do marites, you don't talk. You just pray and you offer your devotion, and then there you go. As I enter the door, and that's how the chapel looks like. And I know a lot of you would always want to go but would not know how to go there. It's really simple. It's very popular. It's well known. And there's a lot of views that you could do your rosaries or you could do your devotion. And you see some people are writing their prayer request, and there's a box for that. And if you want to give some donation, you are allowed to as well. And I'm going towards the chapel itself, and you would notice on the right hand side uppermost, of course there's the chapel itself, and of course there's the pink sister doing the prayer. Okay, you would maybe ask me, would the sister be praying like what I mentioned earlier? It's like 24 hours a day, 365 days. It's not one sister. They change after a few minutes, like every 30 minutes they do change. So they go in rotation, and you'll see that later. Okay, there's this devotee writing his request on the left hand side. So they provide you with papers and pens so you could write all your prayer request, and it's very solemn. This is really. Yeah, see now the sister she was seated earlier. Now she went to the altar to say her grace, and there will be an exchange, and you'll see that in a minute. And it's a continuous praying. So your request, your prayer request, it will be put inside a box, and of course they don't require you to give any money. But if you can make a donation for the upkeep of the place, you are more than welcome to do so. And this petition, they prayed for. These sisters, these pink sisters, would pray for all these petitions for a favorable answer from the powers that be. So it's really quiet. It's hauntingly quiet, and you'll see that. I'm the only one really that they kind of making a little noise, and you could do your Station of the Cross if you were raised Catholic, and of course some people are doing the rosaries, but most of the people who are there are really doing their devotion. They're just asking for favors. So now I'm on my way out. There you go. Going in outside now, the chapel or the convent. There you go. And of course, that's the Divine Mercy, which we covered, I think, a couple of weeks ago in our show, our visit to the Divine Mercy, the Shrine of Divine Mercy in Malolos, Bulacan, or Marilao rather, Bulacan. And we showed that. So for people who missed that show, it was the Holy Week special that we did. We did a visit on 8 churches in Bulacan. So that was really a highlight of that show. Now we're going from Pink Sisters. I believe we went around the right park, and we'll show you. Yeah, so my driver again. Of course, I didn't drive. I don't drive in the metropolis. So lucky for me, I was able to get a driver who is very familiar with Baguio, and he was the one navigating everything. So, and this is the inside part of Baguio. We are already going towards, I believe, to the botanical garden, and there you go. And then of course, like what I said earlier, parking is not really difficult, but it is there's a lot of parking. But when we visited, there's a lot of cars who went before us already. So you just need to be patient, because that's why there's kind of mini traffic, because a lot of people are trying to wait for their turn. And this is outside the botanical garden, and where there's a lot of natives, and they call themselves the ladies, the Igorot ladies, who would post for you outside the Baguio Botanical Garden. And because it's a botanical garden, you see different species of plants that are available, the cactus and some of the medicinal plants. I personally didn't go in anymore, because it's you'll see part of it. I just did a video quickly on that. And of course, now just to warn you, having your picture with the natives, it's not free. You need to give a donation or token, and then you can have your pictures with them. And I think you'll see that I did that too. And they will charge you as a donation 150 pesos, not per person, but for the group. Whether you are in a group or not, the fee is 150 pesos to have your picture or your souvenir picture taken with the group of ladies. And I think you'll see that in a minute. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. I was so happy because I never had the picture taken with the ladies. And of course, they're all so used with tourists, and they're so used with people having their picture. And they would really ask you, they would say, can you give us 150 pesos? Not 20 pesos, 50 pesos, whatever. They would ask for 150 pesos, and it is for the whole group. So 150 is what, $3? So it's not bad, considering that you are seeing history. This will be one for the books. And of course, there's shanties there that who sells different souvenirs, and they have what I was looking for is the strawberry taho, which we will see later when we go to Mines View Park. Yeah, so there, I'm showing you some of the little kiosks, and of course the strawberry ice cream, which I did not try because I'm lactose, and I rather not ruin my day. And that's the part of the botanical garden. And now here we go. We go hop in again to the car, and then now we are on our way to Wright Park, and then of course to the mansion. Yeah, so a lot of driving is involved. So I would really suggest that you have your own car. Okay, the mansion house, which is right across the Wright Park. Okay, and you cannot go inside. I think you can only do that when there is an event or by invitation only. But there's a lot of video we took about the mansion. It is so that's the Wright Park, which is right across from the mansion. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. Yeah. And then, so the mansion house was constructed at the instance of William Cameron Forbes, following the design of William Parsons as part of Burham Plan for Baguio in 1908. Inspired by the city's beautiful movement, venue of the special session of the Second Philippine Legislature in 1910. It was destroyed during the war in 1945 and rehabilitated in 1947. Venue of the United Nations Economic Commission of Asia and the Far East, or ECAFE in 1947. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in 1948, and the first meeting of the Southeast Asian Nation Union, known as the Baguio Conference of 1950. It is the summer residence of American Governor General from 1908 to 1935, and later of Philippine President from Manuel L. Quezon to the present. So when they go up to Baguio, the president would go there and reside there. Yeah, so that's the mansion. And not not a lot of people are allowed in there because for security reason. And you'll see, I try to get as close as possible, and there's guards, and you'll see them as well. But it's worth to see. Yeah, and then they have postings like what we're showing you right now. It's in Spanish, and of course there's another posting in another wall in English, which I just read to you, and there's another posting on another wall, and it's in Filipino or in Tagalog. So it kind of covered and kind of tell you the significance of the mansion, why this is a historical landmark of the one of the historical landmark of the Philippines. And all the tourists, regardless your race, color, origin, you could only go and take pictures and have your videos outside the gate. You're not allowed to go inside. And hopefully one of these days we'll be invited to go inside, and we'll do a video when that happens. So yeah, all of us, all the tourists are just taking pictures, snapping pictures, and doing the videos outside of the mansion. Showing you all the description and the history of the mansion. So hold on, because right after this we will be going to Mines View Park, and I know that is very common to everybody. Now we hop on again to our cars, because the good thing with Baguio, it's not a big city. You could really do your tour the whole day. You just have to have a good transportation or a form of transportation. I would suggest you could take either the taxi or the cab or the Grab, which is similar to Uber, or I would recommend really for you to have your own vehicle, so at least you could finish all your visit to the different views, different tourist spots. And there's a lot of construction going on too. And now we're going into, and this is the Mines View Park. Okay. And for the Mines View Park, there's an entrance. For adult and children, it's really $10. 10 pesos. For children 13 years old and below, it's 5 pesos. And for 2 years old and below, it's free. So if you are a senior, meaning 60 years old and above, it's really... they really still would ask for 10 pesos because it's really for the upkeep of the Mines View Park. So there's this thing that people are taking picture. So I was taking picture as well. And that's the entrance that you need to pay. So again, adults and children, $10 at 10 pesos. Children 3 years old to 12 years old is 5 pesos. And 2 years old and below is free. And that's the fee you have to pay when you go to Mines View Park. Here you go. I'm showing you the rate card. So, and then as you enter, there's some construction going on still because they're trying to improve the park itself, and it's really, I think the 10 pesos is so worth it if you ask me, because you could spend the whole day if you want, and this is like a go-to for families, especially during the weekends. Yeah, so there's a lot of stalls that you could buy your souvenirs, like the Baguio t-shirts, the everlastings, the bonsai plants, and of course, there's a lot of trash bins. So it's really, really well kept. So Mines View Park is located on the northeastern part of Baguio, approximately 6 kilometers from downtown Baguio. Mines View Park overlooks the old mining town. Okay, it overlooks the old mining town of Itogon, particularly the abandoned gold and copper mines of Benguet, and offers a glimpse of the valley. Aside from the majestic view, as seen from the famous iconic pavilion at the edge of the cliff, which you will see in a minute, serving as the observation deck. There are souvenir shops around the park offering local crafts and products, wood carvings, native women clothes, souvenirs, apparels, and memorabilia, and local food products, all that gave the distinction for Baguio as UNESCO Creative City of Crafts and Folk Arts. Yeah, so that's the entrance. Yeah, it's really interesting because I don't remember Mindsview Park looking like this, but I guess because of progress, they really have improved the park. Now there's more things to do in the park, and then yeah, so there you could buy plants, flowers, and all that. I think this is heaven for plantitos and plantitas. Si Luz Peminda Casimir Marasigan. Magandang tanghali po, Kuya Josh. Hi, Luz. And hello to Eddie as well. And then, of course, the very famous Everlasting. I grew up with Everlasting. I don't know what that the flower used to be. They call it Everlasting because it's, it never dies. It's everlasting. It's forever. It just sheds after so many years. It just sheds. It loses its appeal. Yeah, so there's a lot of plants you could buy, potted plants you could buy, and then it's on the way to the view deck itself. And the good thing in the olden days, you don't see that. There's no stalls there, but now, like what I said, the progress came into the picture, and then being that they were given the Baguio being a distinction, given by UNESCO as Creative City of Crafts and Folk Art. So of course, progress happens, and this is the wonderful result of such. Yeah. So, well, if for the older mature people, it will be a challenge because of you're going up and down like a hill. This one, it's going down towards the view deck. It's paved because they're cemented and it's well kept. But I would, on the way back to the entrance, would be a challenge. So just to guys let you know. Hi Eddie, you're watching as well. How are you? I would see you, I believe July, and we'll talk more about business. Yeah. So there you go. And then of course, you just go in, and of course, there's this area on the right hand side. You see, you could have your igorot. They call it the traditional costume. For 50 pesos, you could wear it. And of course, you could have your pictures. There's no time limit of wearing this, and they're really they're washed. You don't have to worry about getting or these clothes having a smell because they are really well kept. They're washed everywhere, and of course, and it's that I'm showing you is 50 pesos. Where can you go? You cannot go wrong with that, and of course it's a good souvenir thing, and you have your pictures taken. And if you want to do horseback riding, like while you're having your costume, you could do that as well, and you could see that on the left hand side. And now you have a glimpse of the Mindsview Park. We are not even at the observation deck yet. We're just going towards that, and you could see already. This area though was kind of cool. It's still kind of humid when I was there, but it's cooler than the city proper itself. So you could spend the whole day here if you want, because people are selling food, and of course they're selling the world famous strawberry taho. And then there's a wishing well, or they call it, where people would throw money, and then of course you do your wish, and you see right there's the wishing well. And of course, it's a tradition that you throw your coins, whatever is left of your extra coins, and you throw it there and you make your wish. And then you could see right now, if you are into horseback riding, you could have your picture taken while you're, and the good thing here too is they, like in the olden days, you could just go in and out. This one, they have a partition between the entrance and the exit, meaning if you are going towards the Mines View Park observation deck, you go on the right hand side, and then of course on the left hand side would be the exit side. Okay, and there you go. I am holding to my dear life because it's really stiff. And if you fall, you would definitely scrape some of your skin because the stones that I'm walking on, they are very sharp. Of course, there you go. And I told them, stop filming. And there's the park. That's the Mines View Park. And I've said earlier, it overlooks the old mining town, and particularly the abandoned gold and copper mines of the Benguet Corporation. And of course, it has the glimpse of the valley. Yeah, so people are just going crazy, and I'm trying to get our spot where I could take it's kind of hazy. It's not smoke. It's not smog, but it's more like it's a hazy day when we went there, and that's the valley there, and for some houses. In the olden days, if you throw money, there'll be kids, there'll be children. I guess that they don't allow that anymore. That they will be, they're like holding onto ropes, and they will try to get the money that you throw in. Like if you throw in like 20 pesos or 50 pesos, whatever, you would see kids running towards that or wherever it landed. But luckily, I think the local government did not allow that anymore. They prohibit that. So, but there's a lot of people taking pictures, and that's the rest area. There is covered, but it's really still warm during that time, and it's really a sight to see. And this is one of those tourist spots that is a must. It's a must that you have to have a picture taken there. And then now we go to the so we left that, and now this is what I was telling you about. This is one site that I definitely was encouraging, or I am encouraging everybody not to miss. This is the Museum of Ben Cab Museum. Sadly, they did not allow us to take videos inside, so I'm just taking videos outside. They're very strict when people taking videos. So, but in the end credit after the show, we will show you all the pictures we took, all the artwork and the sculpture and the paintings that Ben Cab, the national artist for painting and sculpture, it will be part of our end credit. So please do stay. So because if you are into arts and if you enjoy viewing good arts, and this is really Philippine pride, so it will be part of our end credit. We'll show that. Elena Lapid Salonga is watching from San Dimas, California. Elena Lapid Salonga is, of course, the CEO and president of Lapid Foods, Inc. And this is the chicharron, the world-famous chicharron. And, of course, Elena being a good friend of mine, and always I get my supply of chicharron. As always, chicharron, pag Lapid chicharron, malutong, walang anta, and it goes, and yung kanyang mini chicharron with laman, it's a die for. And that is not a, it's not really a, it's one of the best chicharron you would ever tasted. So if you are, if you're familiar with Lapid chicharron, Filipinos if you're in the Philippines, nothing compared to the Lapid chicharron here in the U.S. It is so, it's FDA approved, and it's so clean, it's so malutong, it's so delicious. And Elena Lapid Salonga did a fantastic job. The Lapid Salonga family did a fantastic job. So now we're showing you some of the glimpse of the Ben Cab, and we kind of cut it short because when I was filming inside, one of the security persons said to me, you could take pictures but not video. It didn't make sense to me because I could take pictures but I cannot do video. So I, as a law-abiding citizen, so I obliged. So like what I said, you would see all these pictures I took during the end credit of the show today. So here we go. Let's continue now. So from Bencab, which is outside of Baguio because that's part of Benguet. Now we go to we went to the grotto. Yeah, the grotto is the Virgin's grotto. Yeah, so it says diocese, and then oh wait, I think the video skipped first. So we're going to the Baguio Cathedral, and this is also a tourist destination. That of course this is, if you're Catholic or Christian, this is a must that you really have to stop at this particular church. It's iconic. It's a Catholic church, and luckily for us, when we went there, the mass is about to start. So I did my video, and then I stop, and then I hear mass, or I heard mass, and then of course I continue with the video. So this is on the road towards the inside of the church. It's a beautiful church. You'll see that. I was able to take pictures and videos after the mass because I think they'll throw me out if I was taking videos while the mass is ongoing. So I have to wait. And then here you go. And you'll see these are beautiful, beautiful footage of the cathedral, the Baguio Cathedral. A lot of weddings are happening here. A lot of baptism and confirmation. This is the place that Catholics and some Christians would visit, especially for those people who would like to get married or to have their children baptized in the Catholic faith. This is like the church that they would really want, because it's beautiful outside. It's nothing compared to the churches that we have seen in Europe, but definitely this is an iconic symbol of the beautiful Catholic churches that we have in the Philippines. Yeah, it's well kept, by the way, and there's ample of parking, so that's not to worry about, because a lot of people are saying, well, it might be a challenge for parking. No, parking you have to pay. There's no excuse. It's 10 pesos. And you could park there the whole day. And then a walking distance close to this church, to the Baguio Cathedral Church, is SM, Shoemark Supermarket, or the Shoemark Mall. So like, well, most people, what they did was they parked their cars here and they just walked to Shoemark. And then here I'm showing you now the Holy Mass schedules, as well as the baptism schedule. That's technically the sacrament schedules. So at least if you want to have or schedule, and that's or to hear mass, we were just lucky that when we went there, I didn't even know, and it was not part of my plan to hear mass. But when we went there, it was about to start. So I did. I heard mass, and it was almost close to 6 p.m. when we went there, and because this is my last stop for that day. And then of course there's a thing of Isaiah 56:7 on the wall, and of course here you go. I'll show you portion because I have to stop my video first because the mass is about to start. Okay, and then now this video was done after the mass, so people are going out of the church. I just want to make sure that you guys would see the interior of the church. It's really beautiful, and I know you would say we have seen interiors like that last time. Yes, you have, because the churches in the Philippines, they're very grandiose. They're well kept, and because Philippines, as we all know by now, it's a Catholic country, and it's the only Catholic country in the Far East Asia. So that's the pride of the Philippines, because I believe 80% of the population, they're Catholics. So, and they're practicing Catholic. So I was able to take inside video, and they allowed me to, because I have to ask permission every time, because I don't want to get in trouble. So, and it's beautiful, just like the other churches we visited during the Semana Santa or Holy Week. So so I tried to get as close. As you could tell, the church is about to close, and that's one thing that I was concerned, because churches, for me, and this is my personal humble opinion, they should always be kept open the believers to commune with the powers that be, to the Lord they obey. But I also understand for safety reason, for security reason, they have to close the church. But I was hoping that they would have a small adoration chapel or adoration church or adoration place where people would be able to spend time and commune and have a personal relationship with the Lord. Now we go to the most famous Lourdes Grotto. Okay, yeah, that's the the world famous Lourdes Grotto, and I think it was really a challenge because there's steps going over to the grotto. And hopefully, you guys who are watching me right now, you would see how many steps needed to go to the grotto from the very start of that arch. Okay, and what was written on that is the director of the Manila Observatory, Father Jose Algie of the Society of Jesus, initiated the construction of the grotto of Our Lady of Lourdes along Dominican Hill Road in 1913. The grotto could be reached by ascending a flight of stairs comprising of 252 steps. Again, you have to go all the way to see the Our Lady of Lourdes, and to do your devotion. You have to do 252 steps. The grotto is a homage to the Blessed Virgin Mary, who appeared before a 14-year-old girl named Bernadette several times from February 11 to July 16, 1858, in the town of Lourdes in southwestern France. The visions were declared authentic by Pope Pius IX in 1862, bestowing the title Our Lady of Lourdes upon the Blessed Virgin Mary. So now what you're seeing is me doing the 252 steps. So I have to stop for every, and just to let you know, especially for our mature people, there's a shortcut to this. I mean, you could cut through the steps. There's road gluing to that. But I didn't do that because I said that I could do it. It would be a good exercise and it would be a sight to see, which I did successfully, and you'll see that in a minute. So that's 252 steps all the way from the bottom to the top. And you see that. So you have to take your sweet little time, and that's what you're seeing right now is the it's the view of the whole Baguio. Yeah. From that side. And of course, what they did is to kind of, for you not to worry too much about, oops, I almost dropped my camera there. Okay. Sorry, I was not able to edit this. So we'll continue with the video. You'll see in a minute. There's more videos coming up, and because so I'm showing you some of the things you see as you ascend, as you go up the stairs. So, and there's some gardens there too that you could, if you want to stop like at station and rest and catch your breath, this is the garden that you could do that, and you could also pray your prayers, and of course you could do your rosary or your devotion. And of course, not to worry, there's vendors, of course, just like any places in the Philippines. There's vendors everywhere selling cold water for 15 to 20 pesos. So like what, 50 cents? Or no, 30 cents. Yeah, so it still go up. And like what I said to you earlier, there's a way that other people who would like to visit the Our Lady of Lourdes, but they don't want to do the steps. There's roads leading to that. My driver didn't know that, but I also insisted that I'd like to do the 252 steps. But see, those cars parked. There's a road shortcut, so you kind of cut through those steps, and and there's a way of doing that. I personally don't know that, but moving forward, if you happen to be visiting and you want to visit the Our Lady of Lourdes on Dominican Hill, there you could just ask for directions on how you could cut and not do the 252 steps. Estrelita Lapis watching from the Philippines, from, I believe, Marikina. Jessa de Chavez Berlasa is watching from Laguna, Liliw, Laguna. And Estrelita is also the owner of Lapid Chicharon in the Philippines. And I was privileged enough to have some of her Chicharon Bulaklak and Pituka. And those are, and of course, Chicharon with mini laman. And those are really, really nice. So thank you for that. And I'll be enjoying most of them when I come back sometime soon. Yeah, so here you go. I like what I told you. Just like in the Mines View Park, you could rent. You could rent this traditional Igorot costume, and for a fee, you could have your picture taken as well. And hopefully, I think I did that earlier. And then of course you go still up, and we're almost there. We're almost on the top. And by this time, I am grasping for my breath. And some people who were with me, they were like just hopping, and as if there's no tomorrow, because they're like the millennials, and they're young, and they have so much energy. Unlike some people who are not who are becoming of age. We have to stop by, and that you could tell that I stop by in every time that there is a rest area. I do stop and catch my breath. But we're almost to the tops. Remember, 252 steps is not a joke, guys. Yeah, now you could see the glimpse of the Our Lady of Lourdes. Yeah, there you go. You could see on the left-hand side on the very top. So this is the last few steps on the way there. See, and some people already have done their devotion. And on the very top, you could do your prayers. And of course, you could light your candles that you brought with you. And there's places for that which will show. I know for the Filipinos abroad who are not familiar, it was a sunny afternoon. And it was not raining at all. But if you are wondering how come some people are walking with their umbrellas, that's the culture that we know, that our ladies, they don't want the sun in their faces, and it gets really hot, so they didn't bring an umbrella, which is especially for our millennials, especially for people who grew up in outside of the Philippines. They find this really odd because you only use the umbrella when it rains. But in the Philippines, that is to protect themselves from the UV rays, because they don't want to be tan, they don't want to get burned, they don't want to get sunburned. So they do the umbrella thing. Okay. Now we're very, very close. There you go. And luckily we muted the video because I was really grasping for my breath on this one. Because 252 steps. It's not a walk in the park. It's really a challenge. So there you go. And we're so close, or closer, like 5, 6, 7 steps away from the grotto, the Our Lady of Lourdes grotto. And then, of course, there's this altar that in special occasion they would hold the mass here. And that's the Lady of Grotto, which is a homage to the Blessed Virgin of Our Lady of Lourdes in Fatima. Okay, that happened in the town of Lourdes in southern France, rather. Some people, they bring flowers. Some people, they bring candles. Some people, they leave their rosaries there. And of course, more and more people are celebrating that they, especially the people that who are able to complete the 252 steps. The breath within that, once you get into the very top, it's breathtaking. It's hard to describe, but you have to be there to be able to capture the beauty of the area, to see the whole landscape, to see the whole I would say 100 degree view of Baguio. And then this area is where you lit your candle, or where you light your candle rather. And of course, you do your prayers, and some people, they're resting before on the way down. And I'll show you. Going down, trekking down the stairs is a lot easier compared on the way up, of course, because the gravity is kind of helping you on your way down as well. But it's really a good challenge. See, look at the kids. They're just running towards or going up the stairs. Kids, and then there's like they're showing you like, and they're just playing with it, and compared to people of age, that we have to do it slowly, and we have to hold the rail because just in case you don't want to fall. And then yeah, so those are the candles. They're different colors, and it connotes different favors that you are asking. Like green is for money, and then pink is for love, and white is for loved and lost love, and for the departed. Yeah, so people are taking pictures. I did take pictures as well, and I asked people. See, that's the beauty of traveling alone. You could ask people to have your picture, or to have your picture taken by them. And then so now you are seeing that we are on the way, or I'm on the way down towards the 252 steps, but it was a breeze to go down the stairs. You just have to be careful, especially when I was doing this. I was taking my video because I want to show you the depth of field. That's really beautiful. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. Yeah, so again, do not miss the pictures of Ben Cab, the works of Ben Cab, because at the end credit, which will be coming soon, you will see all the works of the national artists of arts and statues and moving arts. Then you'll see that in a minute, because that will be our end credit. So this will be my last stop for the Baguio thing, because after here, we try to go to the statues of the Igorot houses, but we are running. There's not much to see. Maybe that would leave that for the next visit. So it says thank you for coming to Grotto. So we tried. See, we tracked to Benguet because that's where we are already. We tracked towards the Igorot houses. But by the time we get there, and if we spend more time there, it will be very, very difficult for us to go back to the city, to go back to Manila. So we decided to shelve that idea. And then now this is the road on the way back to Manila. Yeah, so it took another 4 hours to get back to the city. And it was a good ride. And you see, it's not compared to what we knew in the past, that it's zigzag and all that. There's another road leading up to Baguio, and this is the road that, remember earlier of the video, you saw us trekking or doing it during the night. This is how it looks during the daytime. There's a lot of shanties, there's a lot of stores that if you miss buying stuff, your pasalubongs, like the walis or the vegetables or the Good Shepherd halaya or the ube, that's the last stop. And of course, people are now we're going down from Baguio to Metro Manila, but there's a lot of traffic on the left side because these people are going now into Baguio. Okay, and we're almost on the end part of the video. Because and then after that, I'll just do my little tips, and then after that we'll do the end credit. And please do stay, because you will see more of the pictures of the Ben Cab Museum. Like what I said, we were not allowed to do the video, but we were allowed, pleasantly allowed, to take pictures, and we did a lot of pictures. And for our art lovers, I think it's a sight to see. Those paintings, some of them are for sale in the bookstore, in the gift shop, but majority are really for display for you to enjoy. And I would say Ben Cab Museum, you have to spend the whole day there. It's just like, to me, it's not Louvre like in France, but so much pride in there, because it's a Filipino artist who has done that, and the work of art is just amazingly fantastic and magnificent. And I really would encourage everybody, when you have a chance to go to Baguio, please do visit Ben Cab Museum, because that's the national artist. At the same time, it will give you a different perspective of how talented we have as a nation, as people. And that is our travel log for my short visit to Baguio. It was it's an overnight thing that happened For us, it's a day and a half technically that we did. That I visited Baguio, and I want to share that experience with you. So I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope when you come visit, especially Filipinos abroad, when you have a chance to go to the Philippines and visit, put Baguio as a place to visit. It's a must visit. Because there's so many things that would remind you of your childhood that is so pleasant, and of course it is the pride of the Philippines to have a tourist capital or a summer capital that is Baguio. And if you have a chance that you're already in Baguio, you could still go to Bencap Museum. And if you are into strawberry, there is strawberry farm, but you have to have more time. A day and a half is not enough to see all the beautiful sights. What I gave you is a bird's eye view of some of the things you could do in Baguio that are touristy. But if you could spend at least 3 days, as I've said people, as I've advised people, do not be a foreigner of your own country. Don't be a foreigner of your own homeland. Let's promote our own, because we have so much beauty, the beauty of the Philippines to promote, not only for our countrymen, but also to the world. So napakaganda po ng Pilipinas. I always wish that we continue to have good leadership in government na ma-preserve these beautiful spots, these tourist spots that's really pride of the Philippines. And these are like you and I will be so proud of, especially our kids, our relatives who have not been to the Philippines. Baguio is a place that they could visit. It's a 4-hour drive from Manila. And the road is already paved, and you go to the NCLEX and the Dplex, and it's really highly recommended. 2 thumbs up, really. And that's basically it. So again, maraming salamat po. And finally, I went live, and those people who've been texting me and doing private messages, if I was sick or if I'm okay, I am way okay, better than okay. So maraming salamat for all your concerns. And definitely Kuya Josh now is live. I'm back in the country. I'm back here in LA or in Los Angeles. And there's just a lot of things. That's why we went on to replay. But it was not intentional. But tomorrow I'm live again with dear Kuya Josh with a brand new letter that I would be asking your help, because maganda po ang topic natin for today. But I'll keep you in suspense for tomorrow's show for dear Kuya Josh. It's gonna be in the Pacific. It's gonna be 10 p.m. in the Philippines. It's gonna be 1 p.m. on a Sunday. And of course, in different parts of the world, depending on your time zone and where you are. So just check na lang po. But if you are not able to watch me live, there's always the team replay and team share. Again, maraming salamat po, dahil I am lost of words to thank you. I cannot thank you enough for all the beautiful things that you have shared, that you have expressed, and the greetings that unceasing, walang katapusang greetings po na pinapadala nyo. And it's so humbling for a person like myself. And again, don't leave yet, because we will show you the different arts, the inside of Bencap Museum. But before I end, and before we go to end credit, I always tell people, happy viewing pala, baka magtampo ang ating mga team share and team replay. Happy viewing po sa inyong lahat. And of course, looking forward to many more shows with you. And maraming salamat din po. And I'll show you, I'm waiting lang dun sa Communicators Award natin na natanggap for our show, Alam Mo Ba, with Jush Andowitt. Well, once I receive that trophy, I will share that with you, to all of you, dahil it would not have been possible without you. So maraming salamat po. So with that, as always, whenever I close the show, be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And as always, and I will share that with you, what happened to me about this doing kindness. When you do good things to people, any act of kindness that you share to people, that you do to people, it will come back to you in so many ways. in different times, in different occasion, different situation with different people. At that's a guarantee po. And I would share that. I would love to share that one of these days. Mga real story po that personally happened to me, and I don't mind sharing that with you when the time comes. And definitely with that, maraming salamat po. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you next Friday if you're not able to watch me tomorrow on Dear Kuya Josh. But before we end, and please do stay and watch the beautiful picture of Ben Cab Museum. Here we go. Bye, everybody.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.